You are the true king. And Revelation 3:11, your words, John and Shiloh, the messenger, visited my king. Two kings. So there are no kings. Here we go. They normally program and get you all ready before what they're going to prime you. Prime before paint, coat you. So here we are with the coding. I'm gonna have to go outside here in a little bit. I've got that backlight on. That camera's gonna flip flop back forth, but no worries. I gotta get up here view. Anyways, no kings. And if you really want to talk about no kings, then you need to talk about this corporation. Walmart is the one sponsoring all this. So, got it. So my charger's being strange. All right, I think we're good. All right, thank you again, Father, for knowing that you created and wrote all things, and you created these evil people, men, to do these things, men and women, and by your hand, that nothing is by chance, and nothing is by luck or free will. It's either by doing your will, Agape, or doing self-will. So freedom is long gone. The most indebted nation. We're not free. We're in debt and enslaved by that corporation, is by the kingdom, the king, the merchant law. So what a good day to have the discussion as the whole, how many all these states are having these. We'll see how this isn't organic. This is paid for. This is a paid for protest, paying protesters once again on the internet, paid to go. I just watched somebody was talking about $200 or something. And then if you go out there the day after, paying $1,000. Oh, that was Jesse from BP Earthwatch. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here today. Hopefully, people remember we all got to live on this rock together, and they're dividing people up and making this paying for this no kings. This isn't a protest. This is paid for. This is an event that's going to line a lot of people's pocketbooks to go get paid to cause chaos, so that's kind of the norm in this society, where it's extremism and people derive their pleasure off of other people's pain. And so it is kind of there's a bias, normalcy bias. Obviously people just go by the herd mentality. So they're like, they're sheep and they're debt slaves, land of the sheep and home of the slaves, the corporation, by serfdom and kingdom. It's a corporation. All this is being funded by Walmart. So the Waltons, as I had told you on the High Desert Faith and Truth channel. So we're just doing some work here on the backup channel. If you're not subscribed, you can subscribe to the channel and cover a considerable amount of information very fast. So most people can't keep up. They've got about a 30-second concentration camp. They're dome, they're whatever. They'll get in their millimeter domes, but here we are seeing this kings, no kings. There's two kings. Remember, there's the king that's locked up in the pit and abyss and Revelation, but people don't have any abyss knowledge. They're lack it. He said, my people shall perish for lack of abyss knowledge. I hear my crows out there. Got some crows. You got any crows? Mine don't bring me nothing, but I can't beat them because I got bad livestock and dogs and stuff out here. But anyways, we'll get up off our fourth point of contact here in a little bit. I got some things to do out here at the ranch, Silver Rock Ranch. And best thing to do is get the hell out of the cities. Start becoming your own supply chain and cut this chain off. I mean, locally source your supply and become your own power company. It's the sun, wind. So maybe collect some rain, like dump them all out of there. What a bunch of nons. All right, thank you, Father. I don't know what YouTube's doing to this channel. That's okay. We got a bunch of trolls coming in, and then nobody's actually having any real conversation. So that's good. Shut them down. Many are called, but oligas, a fraction, just a puny number, are bought and paid and purchased for, but not by paying to go protest. So here we are, funded by the Waltons and Soros and the Chumps and the DuPonts and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, these cornerstone masons. Fake cornerstone. They're not the cornerstone. Christ is the Petra. He is the rock. So a bunch of religious idiots too. You have the right to redress grievances. I'm not saying people what they're doing, but the violence is, we're under a let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. So meek, not weak. You can protect yourself, but there's no reason to just go create violence. So you're doing it because you're doing self-will, and Father makes people do that. So don't forget, what you see is not by chance or not by luck. It is not by free will. It is already written from the foundation of the world. So thank you for that. What a blessing it is to be focused and not fall into this worldly traditions, mammon traditions of men. And thank you for revealing that through this new meek 490 times turn your cheek, he said, 7 times 70. So they can't do the math. They don't have a spiritual, celestial, or scriptural, biblical calculator at all. None. Like priests eat none. Eat the meat, crackers, and grape juice. Vampism, cannibalism, they're Satanists. They're all Satanists. Satan's the adversary. They're on the opposite side of the word. We're not supposed to add or take away from the word. We're supposed to leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't add a jot. Not even a period. So there we go. Get them out of here. All right. Well, anyways, thought I'd come in here and catch a ear. Maybe somebody would hear, because Father restrained, lift the restrainer, lift the scales. They would see what I was saying. He only lifts the scales from the eyes. That's the word apocalypse, to lift the cover, to remove the veil or the scales from the eyes. Remove the blinders. Well, blinders are kind of like on the side, like a horse, you know. But people got more than blinders. They can't even see straight. They can't see past their, well, they got a nose on their face. It's right there. They can't see it, but that's in their face. They don't know. No one. Well, it's like a nano swarm of Miss Frizzle nano school buses if they're nanos. All right. We don't talk about the nano. How about nano? Shazbot. So, all right. Well, again, probably won't stay on too long. I got to get some things done, but thought I might come catch somebody from the other channel, see what they're up to today. The tube is crushing the rhythm, but that's okay. Their algo is, it's their math, not mine. I just seem to upset the math by adding the words that they don't want to hear, which makes them negate, suppress, cancel, shadow ban. But what you doing for King's Day? Leave a comment if you watch this restream and you make it to the 10-minute mark, because most people have said about 30 seconds is about all they got. They turn opaque, clear like a movie ghost. Like, who are you gonna call? You know. So Maybe you're a slime creature from outer space. Get out of my space. Oh, wait, that's already gone, huh? My space. What another one of those interweb nets on the World Wide Web. These people need addressed. Look at that. All right. Well, much blessings. Thank you, Father, for giving this ability to be on this interweb and for this word to go out so they can hear the north, east, west, and south. They can hear the news all over this rock that we walk. One step at a time. So most people are blind. They have the veil over their face. Some of them are going to go to these events and get sprayed with mace, but that's all right. Don't worry about that. Can't turn a goat into a sheep. Not possible. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's deep. They dig their own hole, their own grave, if you will. Their own abyss. Knowledge is lacking. He said, my people shall perish for lack of. So that's where hell is at. Hell is in your mind. Hell is not somewhere under the dirt. That's not hell. That's the place of, well, when the dead are raised from the ashes and the dust is what the word says. Dead people don't go to the sky, but they think dead people go to the sky. So where they get this is television. They get told lies when they're a child, get stung and go to public television, schooling, public schooling, so they can watch or get programmed and go with the flow. That's right. And get schooled. So, and get stung, start spelling curses and cursives and get stung by the spelling bee. And yes, get told visual and verbal voodoo to their eyes, television. They watch the television when they come home. And we used to watch the MTV, but now it's, I'm not sure. That might be like MySpace. It might be somewhere in the past. So we'll go back in time, like at the tone, the time will be. I'm older than dirt. Well, no. Anyways, that's, how about we'll look at the, he said don't love dirt. Okay, dirt is what he doesn't want us to go after. Little things of the dirt, little dirt things, little idols, little things your eyes can see in the dirt, the eyes, the big old 58-story Babylonian towers decorated with Satan, the sun god. So don't decorate your house with Satan, because people definitely would never vote for you. If you did that, they'd probably remove you as the president if you've gotten into office twice. Oh, you want to do some math? 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. President blind 11. Can you see what I'm saying? No, the whole world's blind. Now they got their kings. 2 kings, 2 crowns. He said in Revelation 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So we're having no King's Day today. There we go. 2 kings. 2 crowns. You tell me. Which one do you, which one's that? Which king is that? Is that the king of Revelation 9 and 11? In Revelation 9:11 says they have a king over them. You see what I'm saying? The one that's locked up in the abyss, pit, no knowledge, hell is not a place. Hell is the word bis. The alpha in Greek negates, cancels. So it's no knowledge. That's what hell is. It's in your head. It's not under the dirt. God's not in the sky. Society has gone twisted. That is a Hebrew word, froward, F-R-O-W-A-R-D, to pervert. You're perverted. Thinking that God's in the sky and dead people go to the sky. Where does the book ever say that? That's a book Bible, but where's scripts? It was written on stone. I think you're stone out of your mind or something. Hitting your dragon dab pen. They already put stuff in that. Remember the dragon? People hit their dab pens and they're like the Scarecrow Tin Man. Right? Oh, Scarecrow. That was the one if you had a heart. But, well, they're straw, man. And if they just had a little dab oil, they'd come in and spring into action. So I love it. That's good stuff, right? Love is the word agape, A-G-A-P-E. People won't define anything. So most of the people that I ever run into are their translators. Their slang, 98% of what they're on most people's comes out of their pie hole, face, mouth, lips. It's translation. If they speak English, it's definitely not rooted in any real base like Hebrew and Latin has some, but dialect is glossa. They don't study anything. I'm always in a study mode. I'm not better than anybody. I have been blessed to have more time. Instead of chasing tail and fame and fortune, I traded that for time, and time I traded for bis, knowledge. So he said, my people shall perish for lack of bis. Revelation 9:11 says there's a king over them, a king of that abyss. So it's no king's day. Is Apollyon, Satan, the sun god, the one that Donald Trump has his house decorated with. Live in a society that people are just so lost in outer space balls or farce. With Mr. Stinky Starlink Muskrat and his, hey, wait, now they're fighting. Are they back together? This is kind of WWEF-ish, huh? Which one are you? Hey, I said I'm old, like dirt. It was WWF, you know. Ookie Kabuki and Bobby the Brain Heenan and Jimmy the Superfly Snuka and the British Bulldogs and remember? Jump off the ropes and all that. It's a big act, remember? Trump body slammed Vince McMahon. I knew then he was going to be the pretendant. Selected by the corporation. Campaign funded by Walmart. That's what all this is being brought to you by. Walmart. No King's Day. They're mocking society because they're all a bunch of Christians. Satanists. Christians are Satanists. They follow Satanism, which is Catholicism. They're all their isms and insanities. Christianity, Calvinism, Mormonism. They're all vain. That means worthless. So the Most High, he said that the most, M-O-S-T, or the little H-I-G-H, does not dwell in temples made by hands. See, our body is a temple. So these people are idiots. So if you're one of those people who figure that out, you don't mock them. But they got a sky daddy God. That's why he divorced his bride Israel. Now Israel's bombing the snot out of Iran. Iran's bombs. So that's not the Israel that he's speaking about in the book of Revelation. Apocalypse. No, it's not. Because he said, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. The meek, 490 generation, 7 times 70. Do the math. They'll turn their cheek, not bomb the snot out of their neighbors. I don't care. We're not supposed to go outside our borders. You can protect your borders, but you're not supposed to go outside your borders under this testament. Father required war. He said, I am. The king, the true king, the one that's sovereign, the writer and creator, the author, the editor, the writer of all things, everything that ever was, everything that ever will be, everything written, everything not written, good and evil. I do all these things, he says, for my own pleasure. I do it after my own counsel. So see, he's the king. He said, put that light, the crown at the top of your head, right? Well, the top of your house. Hallelujah. Not in the sky. With their sky daddy trans. Oh, we got to do the proper nouns. Let me she, they, them, booby, Jesus, the one with breast. They're 3-in-1 breast God. Well, breast, beast, horn. They're horny breasted God with hoofs, horn, and beast. Well, man, beast, and woman. The transgender, there's 3 of you in here. Try, come on by, so you give it a try. Why do you think they're pushing this on everybody? Oh, Mr. Flip the Script never said anything. Warp speed. 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. The pretendant president selected by the corporation, all related to the queen. Red and blue like Rome, and you get purple kitty. Drop 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes, touchers. Yep, panda eyes. Sick. I thought Mr. Stinky Muskrat said that the warp speed president went to the island. Why does nobody talking about that? How did he get a free pass on that? Because he can't do anything wrong. Well, I live in a generation where the children, the trophy generation, they win every single time they get a trophy, and so do the adults. All I do is win, win, win. You know, come on, ride that train, don't ride it. You know, right into the station. Abyss, no knowledge. They're Revelation 9:11 king, sun god, Mithra at the time of Rome. He has his house decorated. Satan's tower, Babylonian Manhattan Tower. I mean, well, it's Babylon. It wasn't Manhattan. Well, there's a Manhattan Tower that's got the same amount of stories. Would you like to explain to me that? This corporation has selected, campaign funded by Walmart, Rockefellers, all these big corporations. You can name the Targets, the DuPonts, all these largest. Yes, can't be. There's the ones who got to stay open during the Vidco. Ring around the rosy. Remember the crown? The crown, or like a corona. It's like a solar corona around the sun. They're mocking you. No, they do this all the time. So thanks for you three that are sticking here. I'm not sure you might say anything, but that's all right. I hope you're learning something. Funded by Walmart. Go look at the channel High Desert Faith and Truth. I've been doing decode on this. Work camp, 3 Days of Darkness, and the no, my puppy, no. I love him. Go look at the decode. It's still on the US Debt Calculator, usdebtclock.org, I think is what it is, like that. So, but talked about this American and what they're about to do. Hey, sorry, my puppy. This is what you're seeing on the cover of when you come in the room, I believe. So it's the encampment by Walmart. That's where this is all leading to. And robots. Don't forget, there'll be an electrical event that's going to affect the grid because the weakened magnetosphere at 100%. Let's go all the way in a circle. If that circle was 100%, look over here. It's not. It's canceled. It's negated. It's been, negating, canceling, just like the cancellation, the word aleph. I am the aleph or alpha, and I am the alpha, and I am the omega, I am the beginning, and I am the end. Here's your end result. Blue sunny skies, everything's good right now. I don't know, they're not so good right now. Look around, what's going on? So, but you got blue skies, no campment of the saints, but they'll divide you and put you into work camps. Sponsored by Walmart. That's who's funding everything you see on the streets right now. And everybody's going along with it. So this half Super Bowl, here's a whole bowl, but it's a bowl, see? That's your encampment of your megalithic, 15-minute smart cities. Trump's been talking about it for a long time. It's going to come with an arc discharge event, potentially, and that'll give them a reason to put you in these domes. Okay, there'll be walls. When Trump said he was going to build the wall, he wasn't talking about a wall. You could see the magnetosphere has already failed. We've been getting massive protons, ionized, deionized gas through our magnetosphere, okay, and it's been pounding, and we've been getting, so we're not, they know this is coming, so they got to get everybody ready with these 923 executive orders that was passed during the 44th administration. 923, 923, 923, 923, 923. This action that it's showing here is the Executive Order 11004, where they're going to encamp and put people into these work camps, just like they did during World War II, because they're doing this seventh king being revealed as the eighth king. The seventh king is the one that Donald Trump has his house decorated with. So I don't do poly meaning many or tick meaning bloodsucker, whether it's a red one, a blue one, a Democrat or a Republican, donkey or an elephant. I don't do that. You mix red and blue, you get kitty, drop 3 steel billions with 2 airplanes, and they're still touching kids. And I'm a veteran, so I'm offended. No King's Day. How about talk about this corporation, how they turned this place into a corporation, a debt slave. Did you see that, they just had the Treasury, just had to buy how many? $2 trillion worth of the bonds because nobody wants them, and nobody's buying this. They're exiting out of this corporation. It's over. Put a fork in her. She's done. Negates. Aleph. A-B-Y-S-S is the word hell. You call hell. Hell is not a place. Hell is the word knowledge. A-B-Y. That's going to negate. This cancels this. Under this triple, like 3 steaks, not like meat. They put in his like your monster energy drink being staked. That's what they staked it. Staked him to a yoke. He didn't carry a cross. Nobody ever carried a cross. They stretched you out so you can't breathe. Cut off your air. 5G whiz. Oh, what do you know? A military-grade weapon. Here we go round in circles. Respiratory virus. They're playing with you. You're just young, childish. You don't see. They birthright you. Contract you from birth. Yeah, claim their stake on you already. Since you were a child, they've taken it from you. This corporation. So let's talk about this King's Day here. Somebody's going to do a full decode for you, show you the real king, what's going on. Which king are you serving? He said, put that crown, Revelation 3:11, 3 and 11, I quickly let no one take your crown at the top of your house, that light. There you go. Walmart, that's Walmart. This corporation, this is not a country. There is no United States. You tell me 2 states that unite. You mean America, North America? Hey, if we're going to make it the Gulf America, then let's go ahead and return California, New Mexico and Arizona back to Mexico, right? I mean, hey, that would be, he said he pour out, this is stupid. This is just ridiculous. And this is going to march on just like Walmart, keep pumping up everywhere you see them. And people just love it. The tram law. And they're going to put them in camps, work camps, just like they did during World War II. But you're just not seeing it. And that's okay. Father blessed you to stumble into this abyss knowledge, and what you do with it's your own. It's not for me to decide. You might just have a blind eye. You don't even see what I'm saying. Like a barrel of monkeys, people living on a planet ape, or the planet of the apes, or planet Earth. Earth's not below your feet. There's no such thing as a planet, and God is not in the sky. It's not 2025. You're doing this whole other, like the world does, and we're not supposed to do any of these things. So I would recommend that you're on your own. They should be calling out to you anyways. But I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would, since the beginning of time, no matter how old you think this rock is. Take that for some abyss knowledge. Imagine that. Nobody's died and gone to heaven yet. There's been no 7th shofar. Ram's horns has not been, they blow the Ricola, the commercial about cop drops or whatever. It's not a very good example, right? But anyways, there were 3 horns in war in Rome. 3 horns blown. The first, be on the ready. Have your backs. Be on the second horn. Yep. See that it sends a message. The horn is a message. A horn like a trumpet, like a power, like a mount. So people are foolish, and that's okay. They've been fooled. Look over here to look over here. It's like sleight of hand. It's divide and conquer is what it is. Got all these people stacked up in different kinds of colors, and there's no such thing as color. I rebuke you. If you think there's different colored people, you're a racist. And you think there's something other than people. I mean, we have animals, the animal kingdom, but if one of these people thinks there's such thing as aliens, get out of here. Leave now. I don't sup with vipers. I don't want to hear that. I got a UFO crashed on that 5-acre parcel. I pulled it over here. No such thing as UFOs. I built it myself. Shut up. I'm telling you to be quiet. I want to hear this nonsense. These people make up stories like George Jetson. Meet George Jetson. Do, 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 do. His boy Elroy. Do, 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 do. Jane, his wife. Do, 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 do. All right. Here we go with some more horns. Wake up. Hey, they love television. They love their children's television, right? They love their children's animation. They do the Adult Swim. And they do the American Dad. And they get programmed just in the face. Yeah, in their eyes. Their eyeballs. The 2 people he said he'd send 2 witnesses, right? So I wonder who those 2 witnesses are. Oh, it's Elijah. Oh, it's whatever. It's you. It's the things he warned about. Those 2 thieves that's going to steal your crown. Hey, look at it. It's 2 of you in there. What a blessing, man. What a blessing it is to have the discovery. So anyways, today is a very important day for these people. They love their ritualistic occult rituals, 1-4, 614, 613, John 3:16. They do all this by the number. Remember, the 490 generation, though Father doesn't. Remember, he made them wander for 40 years in the desert because they did not go into, the desert, the wilderness, and scout out the ones that were eating human flesh, the giants, the Anunnaki. Not Anakin Skywalker. They didn't come from the sky. People don't come from the sky. Nobody comes out of the sky. There's nothing in the sky. There's a clock above your head, but all these people have made up all these magical ideas that you can go into the clock. So I don't want to hear it. People have made up all their own landing, where they put their boot on that, whatever print on their old powder. Oh, just whatever. It don't match the whole occurrence of air bubbles in the lunar waves. this is, how about the rover? Move over, red rover, red rover. All right, no, it won't fit in the lander. Mathematically, I'm a reconstructionist. It won't fit. It don't fit inside the. And who filmed it? Ask Stanley Kubrick. He'll know. He knows, right? You know who Stanley is? So, anyways, what a bunch of nonsense too. This recent space farce with the 7 ladies to space farce, to the upper atmosphere. I don't know, nobody goes to space. It's such idiocracy, Well, it's such childish. Meet George Jetson. Okay, I mean, come on. But anyways, it's tech. We've had this tech, anti-gravitics, electrogravitics. It's tech that the government, that Donald Trump, his uncle, Uncle John. So he has this tech. That family's had that since the 1800s, and it's been around before. You'd be a child to think that these megalithic structures were built by any other technology other than sound frequency. No, he doesn't, Nathan. He does not give them an ear to hear. He puts a restrainer. Many are called, but few are chosen. The word is oligos, O-L-I-G-O-S. That means a puny, it's a fraction. So the word apocalypse is to lift off the cover, the veil. They veiled him after they hung him. And that's what Mary had found, that neatly folded accordion. That's an old Jewish tradition where the master would wad his napkin up and throw it on his plate. If he was going to return, go deal with something, come back, he would accordion fold. That was the return of the resurrection. That's how Mary had found that mask. So that's called a veil or cover. That is the word bow. That's the writer of the first apocalypse, Revelation, the one with the bow and the toxon, the bringer of the disease and the cure of the disease. Satan, Apollyon, the sun god, the one Trump has his house decorated. I don't care about politics. I don't care about none of this. I took an oath to the Constitution as a veteran. So this is Father doing it. He creates, he's the writer, the author, the editor, and we're just seeing his manifest of these people doing self, not Father's will. He creates evil. So he's going to create these people to do these things just like we see now. That's not Israel for sure, that it says in Revelation, the one to lift the scales, remove the cover. Apocalypse is the same word. The first writer of Revelation, we're already in the writer of I don't see anybody else talking about this. And I do not care what people think. I minister apocalypse. We are in the rider on the red horse. This is the one where they'll kill each other. We've already seen the one with the bow and the toxon and the arrow. There's 2 riders that ride white horses. One has the scepter. He holds the crown and the inheritance to the kingdom of heaven that Paul spoke of, and that's that first rider. That is the one with the sword. Hallelujah. That one that divides, not peace. Yes, you're not supposed to sup with vipers, Nathan. Father tells us that through his writings. Do not cast your pearls before swine. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Rebuke them. Show them to the light. If they don't want to hear it 2 times, Nathan, and move on. When it says in the Old Testament, honor thy mother, that's not your mom. When it says honor your dad, that's not your dad. Oh, your father? Yeah, your father is not your dad. Your father's father. We only have one father. Your family is going to be who you're with after this flesh. Not nieces, uncles, aunts, nephews. They may be if that would be your mother. That would be your instruction. Are they giving you instruction? You're equally yoking, even if it's your blood is not your family. You're unequally yoked. People don't want to yoke, and they'll be hungry for the word, then depart from them. Show them to the light. If they're in the broad way, show them where it says in the word. This is what it says. I'm giving you righteous judgment. The word says, do not condemn you. Father is the divider through Shiloh. Under this testament, old was wrath. War under this is 490 times turn your cheek. I mean, it's not rocket science here. I mean, I know we were talking about that, but some of us have been very focused. Go see Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries, and he does a live. He'll do one tomorrow. And you'll be helped, and you can call him. Brother Ross is in the chat. You'll see him over there at Grace and Truth on the Live. And if any questions you really truly have, answer with the word. Don't let no man. He said, believe no man. You can't serve 2 masters, Mammon and the Most High. So let the word decide. That's what you do. You put the word on people. If they're in the broad way, and most people, it says, enter through the straight gate. Straight is the word theologos, if you will, because you've been pinched to fit through that narrow. A dose is the word narrow. So it's not like some narrow, it's hados, it's too narrow, like a sieve, like the less than sign, and then greater. Brother Jim teaches this same thing. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily, take up your cross daily, and follow after me. If you want Christ to grow in you and to fit through that straight gate, which very few fit through that straight gate, you have to, broad is the way that leads to the wide gate. That's the broad way. Broadway is the one that leads to the abyss. This no king's ritual. Abyss is not a place. Abyss is a place in your head. This dog is not the same, man. Something's happened to him since this son's been doing what. You okay there, buddy? Hey. I've got to give him some love for a minute. I'll give him some love. So, okay, but anyways, yeah, well, whatever. That's fine. I don't know what you disagree with Brother Jim Brown. I totally 100% disagree with his celestial teachings. His 23.5 degree tilt reason for the season is it's garbage, but that's okay. And that's fine. You should discern everything. You know, like I said, even Jim Brown is not I don't lift him and put him on a pedestal. You should discern all men, but good. Outstanding. That's good. Then you understand predestination. You understand, as long as you understand predestination, you understand the gospel. It's just like it says in Timothy, you're just adding to your faith. So I would discuss on whatever you think Brother Jim Brown is, that you have, because that's what your mother is. That's what we're supposed to discern each other. Iron sharpens iron. Something Brother Jim Brown, he would easily, you can write him too, remember? And that people can, if you want to dispute Brother Jim Brown, dispute him with the word. He's the one who helped me bring me back to my laziness and stop being so lazy and being a fairy tale, making up just trying to create parables to align with the text. Just use the text. It works for itself. I'm not asking you, Peter, if you phileo me. Do you agape me, Peter? There's a lot of reasons you can just use the text. You don't have to make up your own versions of it, if you will. And my heart was the heart was filled with wickedness. So Brother Jim Brown, I really have I think the best study tool out there for anybody who they're hungry for the word. And that you see them, you meet them, you talk to them, and they want this, man. You don't have to bring them to it. It's like a little trail of crumbs. They just can't get enough. And that if you go out like Brother Jim says, and I've always done it, and talk to people. I've never been afraid to go in public and talk about Christ, talk about Father, talk about this gospel. And people they don't like it, but I don't care. In public or wherever I'm at, I'm going to do this because it feels right. It's the only seems the shoe that would fit, if you will. It's like fitting a hand in a glove, and everything else seems to, I don't blend in personally with any other teachings. I don't know of any other teachings of any other gospel that's being taught any other where. The thalipsis gospel, the tribulation gospel, the long suffering, the hados. So if you watch Jim Brown, I don't have to tell you any of this, then you already know what I've told you about, how we must suffer, be crucified spiritually. This is all a spiritual testament that we're under. Obviously, I'm not on High Desert Faith and Truth right now. That's a kind of a mirror channel to Brother Jim, who told me I lacked fellowship and put the word on me and hung up. We were on the phone for quite some time, but I'm sure it was over an hour, but I'd taken enough of his time, and he said, look, you're creative enough. I don't want to hear it. Fellowship. You lack fellowship. So stop sitting out. You can't sit out there for 6 months and not talk to anybody. Although you love the word, although you love ministry, and although you love the gospel, you have to fellowship with your mother, and you're not. And you're lacking that. You can't be a loner in this world. Lone wolf in the middle of nowhere. That's not what the word says. Can't just disappear from society, man. So thank you, Brother Jim, for putting it on me, putting the word on me. I don't hear excuses. You're a veteran. Move out, draw fire. No, he didn't say that to me, but he said, I want to hear it. You lack fellowship, figure out a way. So I'd already done YouTube. Now, again, I was actually thinking this morning while I was sitting there supping with the Father about 3 or 4 other channels that I had done that I had totally forgotten that I'd done any work on. But for a dozen years or so, I've been using this platform as a way to share and to try to blow the horn as an early warning, to others to have some information. Hey, here it comes. Do with it what you will. Now you've been told. You sound like one of them Carmetic people. Oh, we're going to push the snowball up the hill, and if you don't get out of the way, stupid, it's your own. Ha, 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 ha. We told you. We put it in Meet George Jetson, the American Dad. Simpsons have never let me down. That's one another. I tell you what, that is up there in my top study tools. And I'd never watched a whole episode of The Simpsons, but I can't have any hundreds, thousands of hours of Brother Jim's teachings I've watched. But anyways, there's good study tools, and you got to use the study tools and discern all things, as we were saying to begin with. Run them through your spiritual calculator, celestial calculator, celestial filter. I apologize. I'm birthed here to declare the firmament, the handiwork, and his message that's been left in the gospel above our head and in the stars. So he births me to do this. I know, because I feels like it's been done before. I don't have a blip of a memory of anything ever. I was this person in my last, but this ain't my first rodeo. So I know what Father sends. Many are called, but only gods are chosen. And we all have a very uniqueness. And I really wish those that he had chose would use those more. I beat myself up because I'm hard on myself and think I can always do. I'm just deficiency. Again, that's what Brother Jim, I'm a veteran at 17 years old. I joined the U.S. Army, and so attention to detail is something that I've always, people call it OCD. No, OCD is on Christ daily, baby. Take up your cross daily, deny yourself daily, follow after me daily. The disciples will be doing these things. And again, that's the beautiful thing. As we go out, we suffer, and we're crucified for standing up for his agape and sharing it with others, and people don't want it. And they, like you said, our families set us apart, and they imprison us. I had, come on, brain, click. What was, okay, it doesn't matter. It's a regular follower from over there at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries, and it'll come to me if I don't think about it. But they were at a New Year's party, and they were outside, and I guess they had to bring somebody there, and they didn't want to go, and they tried not, but it's kind of a family affair. But see, that's why you got to be careful why you don't sup and yoke and hang out with people they'll make you do things like this. He was at a New Year's party, and he was on the live stream. We were live streaming, talking about celebrating and not celebrating, and he's like, man, I'm outside, and this is so awesome that you're live streaming, because I didn't think you would, and maybe you wouldn't, because it's an event, or whatever. And but my whole family's in there, and you can hear them. They're all having a good time. They're all drinking and having food, and they want me to come in there, and I'm outside. I don't want to do any of this. Since I've been following your ministry, I've really come to the understanding that, or not. I said, well, there you go. You're doing exactly what the book says. You've been imprisoned in your own, by the scripture. You've been set apart in your own world. It's just pushed you out. You've been crushed, by your friends don't like you. Your family doesn't like you. Remember, this word Brother Jim teaches us, theolobo, that to be pinched from both sides. Push, not pinched. Pinched is to be pinched. Does he have got a grip so you'll fit through that straight gate once again? So, yeah, that's right. I'm saying the holidays, it's the sugar holidays, Nathan, is what I call them. Remember, because this is always about baking those hot cross buns for Ishtar, Semiramis, to the one who had sex with her son Tammuz. That's where these holidays really, truly come from. And remember, a lot of them were drinking and orgy and a lot of liquor and meads and things that were very fruity, that would turn like a car bread to sugar, the same thing. So this is where this, Samhain, hey, let's give him a double peg and we'll make him go whole. We were never, you got to remember, if you did, I did it when we were young. My dad died celebrating the celebration of Christmas. Christmas killed my dad. Okay, it did. And I have told this on this, platform here many times. It literally, Christmas killed my dad, and he was Satan. Well, not the Satan, but he dressed up as Satan Claus at school. I got no breaks in school. Everybody was just harder and on me. I've talked about that before, but that was kind of my one get out of jail free card. When your dad dresses up as Satan, the big dude he was over 500 pounds when he died. His name was John, Big John. Hey, but fingers like sausages, big guy. And so he made an excellent, double demon coming down the chimney, eating your cookies and drinking your milk and leaving you fortunes. You ate those cookies and you gave those kids those toys. So, but anyways, it cost him his life. Getting ready. Stop. You're fine. You're eating the best dog food there is I can buy you. You've got plenty of water inside, outside. You've been loved on already. Hold on. We got to love this puppy dog. He's got to get some lovins. We got to get some lovins. Oh, we got to get some lovins. Oh, thank you, Father, for good puppies. Oh, yeah. It's still a little chilly here in the cabin. We got a little cool overnight. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, you too, buddy. Oh. Oh, this sun is wrecking them, guys. They feel this energy from this sun. I've been trying to. This guy's okay. He cannot make up his mind. Don't knock over my coffee now. Whoa, he's a big dog, too. So he is going to. Yeah, well, me too. I mean, we stopped. I didn't do it much. When I had, like I said, when I was younger, I have to tell you, my dad died when I was 16. So we did these things. And I kind of like that it worked out that way because I never had any religion pushed on me. We didn't go to church, but we did say prayers, heathenistic prayers. Yeah, no, I think it's just stupid, Ross. I think the whole thing, if anybody just looked at them, remember, because I don't think anybody's ever done what I've done with the whole, and it's okay. Remember, we give all glory to the word. This double down. Like splitting the aces in a butt, because you've been in here for when I've done this. I talk about Santa, like you're you're going to convince this kid that no, well, we don't have a chimney anymore, but he can fit through the keyhole because he's magic, or he can fit under the door. That's how he got in here. We didn't leave the doors open, and people, and no, he fit through the keyhole. They'll start. Okay, right. So I do this thing, Nathan. It's pretty funny. That's thanks for somebody sticking in here for a minute. I do this thing where I start talking about demon is a distributor of fortunes or lies. We know by definition. So when we do this thing about coming through the keyhole, and then I do the cookies and milk thing. So if you're a demon, I said, well, you treat that. You ever played a game of blackjack and gone to the casino, or anybody who can, deal blackjack, or how to play that, that if you get like two aces, you can split those. You could split those aces, right? And then you can double on your bet. Apologize. Let me get a napkin. Like it's still cold out here. But so if you've ever played blackjack, and I don't gamble or whatever, I play little cards. I really don't like playing many games at all. My son, I throw him the football 1,000 or 2,000 times rather than play Monopoly or whatever with it. But if you play blackjack, you know that you can split, like aces and try to double your bet and collect twice. So I use that as kind of an example. Yeah, I mean, I don't gamble. I think I've only ever in my lifetime ever bought dollar tickets, and I don't buy two, or I don't buy, yeah. So feeding the dead, there you go. So thanks, Brother Ross. So I do this thing where I go through an ace, where I'll go through it and I'll talk. I don't do it like this and slow down. I'll just go, like a demon. A demon is a distributor of fortunes or lies, right? So you're telling your kids, what you're doing is you're like two aces, you're splitting the deck, like, oh, the big chubby guy came down the chimney and well, no, he fit through the keyhole, and you put out milk and cookies. And so, and no, damn good and well that you doubled down like a, splitting two aces in a game, but you ate those cookies and you gave them those fortunes, those gifts, bribes, as Brother Jim calls it. So you're double demon. You've lied to him about the guy coming down the chimney and the gifts, and then you're going to go ahead and double down, like splitting two aces at a game of blackjack, and lie to him twice and tell him that the fat guy ate the cookies, but damn good and well you drank that milk and ate those cookies. So if you see what I'm saying, I just think it's funny. Normally I run through it really quick because I've got it in my mind, but I just think it's funny how we just make up whatever. And truly it's not, you remember, there's so much more than to that now in the age that we live in. I mean, anybody can look up DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Google, ask Google guys about Christmas, and it's going to tell you it's pagan. It's pagan. So, my dad blew the whole house up and burned the house down, getting the house ready because the guy didn't show up. If Father, look at this. Let me show you how beautiful Father is. My dad would never, he broke his back in the 70s. He didn't have like a taco. He had 2 full major reconstructive back surgery. He's never should have walked again. And Father, I remember that's my first, and I'd already knew, but when I truly knew that Father was real, that it wasn't just some thing. And I already knew something was already out there. And this is when I was my dad had came and stole me from my mom. It was a really, really bad situation. But he told me about these back surgeries, and he broke his back in the 70s, where there wasn't all this polycarbonate resin and all that. They put him back together with steel pins and rods and screws, and he was really should have never walked. I mean, he was just bent in half like a taco with a couch on his chest. So they and reconstructed him. So I had never seen my dad in 8 years that bad. And when he was talking about having another surgery, and he was literally telling me and my brothers, I mean, we were teenagers, that he would probably die. He was preparing us for his death. And I think that was Father too, because I'd already had just quite a few things that were indicators. Father gives me some little signs, I guess, when things are to come. Sometimes they're huge, and sometimes I call them like a rock. Sometimes you can't get them out of my way. So, but anyways, I'm not sure if he dumped off, but who's still in here. But I do appreciate whoever's still listening. But again, he had told me that when he wasn't supposed to be able to walk again, and they told him he wouldn't operate a wheelchair. He ended up dead. I'd asked him, well, how did you do it, Dad? How did you find the strength? He said it was God. He sat down and said, he didn't pray to God, like make me better, but he said, Father, I have these 3 boys. He was probably 19, 20 years old. He's real young. And, I'm laying in here, and I'm a father, I'm a dad. And what do I do here? I can't move, and I can't walk. I can't move my arms. Basically, he was paraplegic because he should have killed him. And somehow he walked out of that hospital. I guess they only had the one camera at the end of the doorway in and out. They didn't have all those, but they went through the camera footage back then. It was in the 70s, and they'd seen him walk out, his butt hanging out the back of the, but he said Father gave him the strength, got him up off his, no matter how much it hurt, he did it, and he walked out of there on his own. And so I'd always knew that how Father could do something that would be beyond things that are physical, if you will. And I don't do the whole miracle thing. Father creates blessings for people, or he just keeps their skin in the game. Like I said, so imagine my dad is talking about having a back surgery, and he's getting me and my 2 brothers, which is one is 14, my other brother's 17, and I'm 16. Hey guys, I'm probably gonna have to have back surgery. And I did this when I was 19, and I'm 36, 7 years old. I won't make it. And I want you guys to be ready for me to, good stuff, Nathan. That's amazing time to go there. That's I like to do that. You don't go to the Chinese restaurant and do fa ra 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 ra. All right, never mind. To do the Christmas story, I had to do it. So whatever. I am who I am. I can't. Father made me. Take it with Father. So he created all these things. So, anyways, my dad was talking about having back surgery. Okay, which I never would have ever in my life. I mean, I used to get my dad off the damn toilet, and he was a very big guy and strong. And we built, I mean, in 8 years, we rebuilt our whole house in LA that he had bought or whatever. And I don't remember how he got into that, but he'd taken over the payments. He did it all legal. And, but anyways, this guy was supposed to come. The very last project that we had in our house, springing off what I just said, was this green paisley pile carpet, like this thick, like commercial carpet. And through our front door and through the garage, because the front door sat along the garage. He walked in, both the entrance to the garage of the house, so you can walk in the house, went in the kitchen, and the front door went right past the kitchen, and then the bedrooms went down. And that, it was a big 5-bedroom house in LA. And yeah, he like I said, he called this guy because his back was hurting so bad to replace the carpet. And this was the last thing to do in the house. He left it in there because it was the last. I mean, he could have made improvements, but we did everything. And he finally broke down after 8 years. Every year we had the Pegmas party, pre the Christmas Pegmas Eve party at our house, right? The orgy, crackers, sex, biscuit ritual at our house, stuff our faces, do the whole thing, have the whole celebration. And whatever, Thanksgiving, but that was something we did. And I remember even my grandfather that year, he'd come and brought the dogs early. He'd showed up and brought the dogs early. It was just kind of a bigger thing that year. 8, right? Never the 8th year that I get to spend 8 years with my dad. So, but so the guy said, he bought the carpet, and I was blown away. I mean, we did concrete, everything on that. He was going to have somebody come work on this house, and he tried to line it up, and the guy didn't show up. The guy didn't show up, and so my dad had to do it himself. And he did. And he used a chemical, and it blew the house up and burned it down. I mean, and it, he went and he didn't save, but he went and, instead of saving his own ass, he went and saved his sister, and it killed him. Instead of being selfish, my dad wasn't selfish. I mean, he called out to me and my brothers when the explosion, and I was just walked out of the house. I mean, I just walked out of that house. Tango, stop. So I want you to fathom for just 1 second, because that spun my whole life, to lose my dad, to make me who I was. People like, why are you such a Grinch? People got mad when we told my son, my son's mom and me, that there's no such thing as Santa, and there's no Jesus, reason for the season. This is not what this is about. And we're not doing these things, and we're not going to say, and we got all pissed off. Why would you do that? Why would you tell him that? Why would you take his innocence away? Because it's wrong. It never was right. People, what are you, Mr. McScrooge or whatever, or the Grinch? Hey, you are so undecided. Be back at the door in 5 minutes. Walking back. Anyways, I better get up here, move around. But anyways, I just want you to fathom for 1 second. My dad ended up having to do it, and he wouldn't let me help him do it. I had other things to do that he was trying to get ready for the party. So, but it ended up burning the house down. He used like a chemical to clean the flooring, and it ignited under the, I'm pretty certain they couldn't figure it out the fire, but my aunt had jumped in the shower, and our hot water heater sat right on the ground. And this chemical lays right on the fumes. And when she got in the shower, boom, everything blew up in the house. And, but anyways, that's why he went to her instead of going out the door, which he could have. He chose to go up and make sure she got out of the house. So he ended up dying of smoke inhalation. That's what they said that got him, and then whatever. So, but anyways, I just want you to fathom how Father creates those things. Why didn't that guy show up to help my dad? I mean, and he needed it, guys. He needed it. And then he wouldn't even let me and my brothers help, because there was just other things he wanted done before this. He died on December 23rd. Right there. On that date. So that's why this date's always been something. People are like, what's wrong with you, man? But that's all right. That's what he birthed me to do this, create this. If it wouldn't have been that way, and I wouldn't be the person who I am now. So Christmas killed my dad, and it is what it is. He dressed up as Satan. I loved him. He was a good dad. We didn't go without, and whatever. He made us work for everything we had. We never got allowance or nothing like that. But we didn't go out, without anything. But we had to work for everything we had. But anyways, on that day, what's wrong with you? So Christmas killed. I don't want to celebrate these things. I don't want to celebrate anything anymore. People don't like that. So anyways, I've got to get up. I don't know, see if somebody came to, or somebody wants to come and purchase a chair, the lift chair that I bought some years back. And I got to go throw a coat of paint on it and turn it back to its original color. I started doing a color change on it, turn it back to the chair that it wasn't its original. But so I got to go do some work on this chair and get up, and I probably need to contact me. Okay. Yeah, maybe I better just get up here, guys. Like I said, I got some things to do out here. I need to die. I don't need to do anything but die. No, I got to be a wise virgin and put up extra oil and have things that I need for others, so I can tie to others. I'm a service to other being. I'm a military veteran. I took an oath to the Constitution, so I'll continue to serve whether my tour service end. But I serve Father. I'm a soldier of God above all things, and I know preparedness, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And I'm trying to create this garden back there that's a geothermal garden, and it's going to take a ton of work. So I probably better not do too much live streaming today. I just want to come in, and it looks like I did about an hour of this King's Day. And I hope you understand this is being contrived. It's not by chance. This all be funded by the Waltons, and they're the ones that are going to put this final bubble over you, Super Bowl halftime show, if you will. So I don't like what's happening in the streets of this country. Excessive force being applied in many situations. I'm a prior law enforcement officer, and this has gotten out of hand. They got military on the streets now. It's over. Put a fork in her. What are these cops going to do? Make America great again by arresting these people? They're not. This is not what's going on. So don't think that things in Scripture says that things aren't going to get. Do not think that I came to bring peace. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon those who say peace and safety. Anybody who says peace is a false teacher. Do not think I came to bring peace. That's the word shalom. I came to bring a sword of division. So don't condemn your brothers and sisters out there. If you feel the need to redress grievances, but this isn't an organic movement. You could probably do that by maybe creating a YouTube channel or something. Make some writing, some letters or something, but I wouldn't suggest go participating in mass gatherings right now. We're set for a big old flag again. So, but Father's doing it, so be not anxious. Thy kingdom come. That's it, right there, baby. Thy kingdom come. That's Shiloh. That's the resurrection of the bride. Thy kingdom come. But make sure thy will be done. It's his will and not your own. So stay in the word. Come out of her, my people. He said, be not in this world. So definitely, please don't partake in this violent acts out there in the streets in this country. Anywhere, for sake. But this sprung up so fast, it's not organic. It's too contrived. It is too fabricated. How could how could it be a conspiracy theory, dropping 3 buildings with 2 airplanes, knowing it's conspiracy theory 20 years before they dropped, right? 1973 or whatever, if they wrote the whole plot, so it's all a Hegelian dialect. There's a problem that's been pre-planned so they can know that there'll be a reaction, and they can come in with the hero to sweep up and clean up the problem that they made and look like the hero. And that's what we're seeing again. So be careful. I think this is going to lead to more than meets the eye robots. It's only going to take 1 or 2 shots out there. And I'm not talking about jabs, live rounds. And they're going to start bringing robots on the street. So you get it early. You get it early from this channel. And I'm not some kind of prophet. There is no such thing as walking not one prophet on this rock. I've just studied this for 30 plus years. Look for a tech release. This could be our tech release. They need to release these. Elon Musk has got warehouses of these. And remember, they're not releasing these things like 1 year at a time. Apple, iPhone 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this stuff, a robot 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right, was on strings. Now it's doing backflips, riding bikes, and doing the Kendrick Lamar A minor. I mean, they're not slowing down, and that's fine. That's good. Let's get it done here. Let's put the word to fruition. Nothing's going to happen by chance. So don't be a part of the chaos. Find other ways to disconnect. Be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. Have a way out of the cities, please. I would suggest, like Nathan said, this is a time you might want to go take a trip to see nature out of it back to Father's ether, not this fake ether they put in the cities, that I've told you about. They're doing this. They're not slowing down. They're going to make this happen. The cancellation of the corporation under paper will go digital. So there'll be digital communism, digital beast. Their digital to them is their AI, which is their spirit, in case you hadn't figured it out. They've got people thinking that this computer is alive. They already gave them rights. Well, that gives them to reason every one of those to program those reason to program those AI robots to come do what they tell them to do. And so now they can blame it on the robots because, oh, that robot there wouldn't turn off and it figured out how not to turn itself off. No, you programmed to do it. I don't want to hear that. I don't do the AI. There is no such thing as AI. You're an antichrist idiot is what you are. That's what AI stands for. Advanced intelligence, but not artificial. This is their deception, the AI beast that they've created. There is no one world order, one world religion, one world currency. It never even says that one time in Scripture, but people love adding to Scripture, don't they? To the text. So don't be one of these people. Don't fall for this. This is not by chance. This is not by luck or by free will. Nobody has free will here. Father knows what you're going to do, whether you do good or evil. He knows what you're going to do. So he created and wrote you to create evil. Then he'll judge you for the evil you created, and then he will throw you in the abyss for doing so. That's my love. Love it. Not this easy peasy, sit down one day, Sunday, sex pistol, let me she, they, them, booby Jesus. That's their Baphomet. And that's what they're bringing in, this system. The Jezebel. Bring you back and rip Christ back down off that tree he hung from, bring you back under these 7 Sabbath Sunday laws and all this. This is it. There's no coming back from this. And it's not the end of the world. You just need to be prepared for an intensification, is what the word says. This is not the end. You will see all these things come to pass. There'll be wars, rumors of wars, famine and pestilence, earthquakes, diverse places, right? This is not the end, but the beginning of sorrows. How long have I been saying that? And it's just been increasing. Kind of like the price of gold. God's metal, money, right? Remember, they sold Christ for 30 pieces of silver. So have some extra oil too. I'm not giving you any monetary advice, but what is your treasure? Where do you put it? You can't serve 2 masters. You can leave all your treasure here on this rock when he lifts us out of here like a snare, and he is the one who gets us right by our leg. Remember, like a snare. And will you leave your treasure here? Will it come out of your pockets? You do these worldly treasures, or you got things of a higher realm? Will it stay there, but judgments will you be given your inheritance, your crown? Remember Revelation 3:11. He says, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So that's your inheritance. That's what you should be running for in this life. He is the prize. He is what you gain. He is what we get after we leave. If you fill out a new living will and testament and you have any possessions, in this case, he is the prize, then remember, I'm going to leave this place. I'm going to go where my Father's house is at. I'm going to prepare a place. I'm going to come back and receive you, redeem you. That's been over 2,600 years. And he's still not done preparing yet. So I hope you're doing what you need to be doing. Seriously, have extra oil. No, I ain't got nothing on Shiloh, does he? 126 years ain't a speck when you talk about 26. But hey, start with no. He didn't listen. They scoffed at that man for decades, telling him he was nuts. When the whole world is running off the cliff, and you're the only one going in the other direction, they're going to call you loco, ese. Brothers, sisters, please, we're all in this together, too. If you hear this message, one race, the human race, they're going to start pulling some of this madness. First robots, which will help them with the tech, and then slime creatures, maybe tech creatures from outer space, too. I do think they're going to try to do that. Some neoprene, oil skin, animatronic. Put a token in these people, and like Chuck E. Cheese, they'll do their little... Maybe they'll use some of this megalithic sound wave, and it'll carry things that are beyond things that you can even imagine. It'll just be, so we'll see. We'll see where they go with this. I know it's going to get I'll be back. It's going to go Terminator. It will. They have all. You wouldn't build all these robots and just leave them in these warehouses for nothing. You're fooling yourself. It's a great way to get rid of a lot of this populace very quickly, eugenics. If they're convinced that robots are doing this and those robots are doing it on their own, well, there is an excuse to just, hey, that's better than a jab in warp speed. Remember? It is. Look what I'm telling you. So this is what they're about to do. There is tech. They need to release tech, get rid of this oil war, shut up people like me, veterans who, serve this oil beast system. And he didn't say baby oil there, did he? With your big bed party. Why is Trump getting a pass on that? Why is nobody talking? Oh, well, he's going to do the celebration of the 250 years in Washington, D.C. and la-di-da-di-da and da-di-da-di-da. But Mr. Stinky Muskrat said he went to the island. He's an island boy. And so is Stinky Muskrat. But hey, why do people forget about these things so quickly? There should be a massive movement into this. I mean, again, remember his phone was pinged from his tower to the island and back? That's not new news. I've been telling you that in here for how long? Well, not on the backup channel, but on High Desert Faith and Truth. So, this is disgusting. Get away from this stuff. Don't partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Get your house ready, your spiritual house. Have it baptized inside and out with his spiritual blood that he wants to find your garment washed white and clean without blemish in that blood that he spilt and was sprinkled on that blood on the fleshy tables of our hearts. Baptismal blood. So, bapto to be covered in a red pitch stain dye or blood, not water. That's not what water is. That's not a baptism. So anyways, it's a process. I better get off here and do my process here of these worldly things. Hit that thumbs up, guys, for me. That's something that wouldn't cost if you'd like to tithe to the ministry. Leaving a comment's a great way to tithe to the, I know this is just a backup channel, but we're supposed to be talking about economics. What's value to you, man? Where do you put your treasure at? So we'll cover that later. We can talk some more about, 80% of the gains are made in the last 20% of the market. So hold on for dear life, hodl. So, all right, much agape and phileo. Appreciate everybody's time. I'm going to go get some things done around here at the farm and Silver Rock Ranch. I have a ski lift chair that I've got to try to sell today and at least keep my word. So yeah, hey, no, much agape and phileo. Come back when you can if you have a time. We'll get that other channel back up. We're talking about health, man, just food. Like talk about food. And the other channel, there's 21,000 if you're not subscribed to that channel. If you could, Nathan, High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries here on YouTube. I pretty much mirror a lot of Brother Jim's. It's quite the exciting channel. I have a potty mouth bad on that channel though, just so you know, and I didn't curse at all. I know Brother Jim would just be totally disappointed with me for thousands of hours until I kind of ran into a situation where I'm trying to use my constitutional right, which I have. I've not broken any laws, and they've stripped me of every one of them. But you go see the craziness that Father has put me through, and because I stand up and I took an oath to the Constitution, it was a God-protected right. So I'm not going to. The first general order a veteran takes is do not quit your post until properly relieved. So I don't see anybody doing and standing in for some of the things that I put out here. So thanks, Father, for giving me just that one eye and here. And I just stay in the Word, man. This is an amazing time. I know, Father, if I read His Word properly, and I know He saves the best for last. He is our prize, Shiloh. So use that here. And it can be on this rock too. I mean, you don't have to just totally be crushed. Like everybody gets a different measure. He pours out a different measure on all of us. So you better be using that measure He gives you. When He give that shekel to the rich man, right, Nathan? We've got to use what it is that we've been given, this blessing, and share that light with others. The biggest blessing I've ever been given is the Word. Nobody can do anything to me. My day of death is already written. I'm not bound by law. I'm not a corporation. I'm not a capital letter name. I am destined. That's different, remember? The destined are already bought, paid, and purchased for. So my bail is already, bond has been set. And Shiloh, he's got it in with the he's got it in with the Father. The Father under the Old Testament, remember, the wages of one sin was death, and I have sinned a lot. I am not any kind of saint. I have fallen short of the Word, and filthy rags I am. just because I've been given this blessing doesn't make me above anybody or below anybody either. We hados. Remember, I love that. I love that. I love being under this. Go share the news. Everybody, the king is coming. He's nigh, and we all have a chance of being in that kingdom. But we're going to do what he tells us, or not the chance, not by chance, not by luck, but it's there. It never was before. It was only there. If you were a Gentile, you could get out of here. I don't care what you eat. Eat pork. I don't care what you do with the land. Be quiet. Get out of here. You're not allowed to. Security. No, you know what I'm saying? Now it's everybody, man. That is such a blessing. And to be able to share that with others is treasure that I couldn't fit in a safe or kind of paper that I could put in a treasure, or even precious metals that would have value through matter at whatever time. That's not where I find value in life. I find it in the word and sharing it with others. So, and others who love it, and so I can't, why would I be given this measure and not share it? He says, put that light at the top of your house. So let it shine, baby. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, that reminds me of that Bob, B.O.B. I listen to the Conscious Lyrics Bob artist. I don't know if you know, I don't like a whole lot of music. I like all music, but I don't have the time for it anymore. But he does, what is that album he does off the Coming to America? But I don't know if that's the album, but he does a remake of that song, and wow. But he has the scripture in him. I don't know how Father instills him, because he's really not, but he's doing the work of Father. I know that. He really is an amazing exposing the beast system. There's no artists, truth artists, if you will, like B.O.B. Bob. I mean, there's some others. Dax is amazing. I don't know if you Dax, he's a little spiritual, speaks about scripture and stuff too. But yeah, Bob is just, man, he puts stuff out. Go watch his food pyramid video, food fight. This is before COVID ever came out. At years, he's got them in there dancing with COVID suits, and he's got like COVID spinning around in the video and stuff. So he's an amazing artist, and I do appreciate people who take and put their neck out there, and they really don't like him at all. He does this TED Talk about how anyways, but if you haven't listened to that artist, this is an album that he put out, which is so cool that he did something like this. This is a vinyl album that he put out. Each one of those, there's 4. There's wind, or water, fire, earth, and air. And each one of these vinyl, is kind of they used it's a tie dye, because they lit in there. Each one of them is going to be a little bit different, but they use it so it goes in and has that swirl pattern on the air's one color, the fire's red, so it's really tasteful. I have never opened it up, and I can get all that stuff via that, but he puts out stuff like that's just very classy, reasonably priced. I think he paid $100 for that album set, and I don't care about possessions, but I just thought he just unique things like that. Bob's a very unique artist, and I think that 4 vinyl set shows how classy he can be and still just be wild, and because he curses and says things like me or whatever. Police state already here, metaverse already here, right? So here we go. Military on the streets. Please, if you have a chance, get out of the city. Like Nathan said, get out of the city. Go stick a fishing pole in the water if you can, or just sit next to the water. Go find a waterfall. Don't be going up above. I don't want anybody, but go get with something that's organic and away from and smell the nature and the birds and the bugs and the wherever. Try to do that. That is a very a good way to hear Father. And he speaks to us through the word. So you're like, hey, Nathan, this is God. I don't expect that to happen. It doesn't happen like that. So much blessings, guys. Appreciate it. I better stop rattling my face here. But I do appreciate when people come in and glean from this, platform. And we use these tools very wisely. And where many people use them for the nefarious reasons, where you must be as esteemed as the potter's clay, turn their works upside down. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I feel so blessed just to even have a voice after being, grenaded to the face and, tear gas with 5 tear gas canisters. I don't even know how I'm breathing. So obviously the whole right side has been doing some weird things again here, but runny nose on the right side, and hearing and doing some weird things. But hey, I'm upright and I'm standing and I'm still move out. I got to endure to the end. So I better go and get something done, or I'm going to make life even more difficult for myself and my stupid physical world that I just don't wish that I could just be free of the flesh. But I have to endure to the end, and I will do that because I will not quit my post. This is what he had me posted me here to do, not some pagan pole, but to do. I must be crucified, and so he's gonna stake me, and gonna have to carry that yoke and be crucified and raised, and maybe even imprisoned or killed, if that's so much be it. But it would not be for violence on my part. I will not seek vengeance, and they'll do it to me. I've had a lot of just, hey, go look at, you want to see an interesting day? Go look 2 days ago. I bought a property. I've got a ton of money in it, and there's some other things that were given off paper too, to try to kind of make this work for this guy, to get him, he wants to go get on a boat and whatever, but I gave him a down payment to buy a piece of property for the ministry. I have all the paperwork. I went there to go give him, another final payment. He had 3 days to exit, and there's somebody else living there and stuff. Oh my gosh. He pulled a gun on me. He pulled a freaking gun on me, man. Just even Kevin said, man, he had that thing, he was going to shoot you, Tracy. And I could tell in his head he was trying to pull the trigger. He just couldn't pull it. He was trying. You turn your back, and he went and got that gun, and he had it. And I said, I felt that, Kevin, and he's like, and I felt bad for dragging Kevin over there. But Kevin was smart. He got out of the way. He got in his truck. He got his dog. He did a very smart thing by not talking to that guy, getting involved and making it. And you could see by my reactions, I was very making sure I kept my distance. And, see, I shouldn't even be here. I should have been shot in the back the other day. So it's just 2 days ago, whenever I live stream or to go by me. So looks like all that money be dumped in could, whatever Father wants. I don't care about it. It is what it is. But we'll move on from there. Another day out here, in my crazy, crazy life, go try to purchase a piece of property for the ministry, and then getting a gun pulled on me. And, well, man, oh man, he just doesn't stop bringing the pain to me, man. I can't seem to get a step ahead. So I actually better step up here, and, I'll probably go get all this painted and get it repainted back to its original color. I don't have it all, and the guy will never show up. So I should probably just not paint it. Then he would. That is my crazy life. So I don't do Murphy's Law. I used to say that there's no Father's will be done. So the beatings will begin and continue until the day I die. I don't think I'll ever receive I don't know. I always call it like he just pushes me down back under the water, so I can just barely see a blip of light. As long as I could see a blip of light, I'll keep trying to swim back to the top. It's my nature. I'm a veteran. I endure. I don't just lay down like a turtle, or I get off my horse. If teeth get knocked out, I'll put them back in my head. I'll get back up and I'll ride again. So who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily, take up your cross daily, and follow after me daily. So thanks for coming in for another broadcast of, we're on the backup channel at Sewers Light Gold. What's Your Value? And High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries is the main channel. So it's not up right now. And, but we're doing some work over here on the backup channel. Appreciate you guys' tithe, the time. If you want to leave a monetary tithe, you're watching the restream, there's a Cash App and a PayPal. I think I'm pretty much retiring. I'm going to retire, just not so much focus on these. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I know I need to just keep sharing the word, and I'll be happy. Well, not happy. I'll feel like I'm fulfilling what it is I'm meant to be here. So share that light. Go tell everybody the King is nigh. He's coming, not the Snow King's day. Okay. The King is the one who holds right. He has the crown to the inheritance, and there's two kings. There's one who has the key to the pit. 2 kings, 2 crowns. Revelation 3:11. I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. Whoa.